Hi everyone, I'm here to help you in your world history class on your project about Vietnam, and I'm here to today discuss about more resources and information you could use for supplement your project that's not just books. For this particular class, we're going to be looking at databases and seeing articles or primary source documents to help supplement you in your research and gathering stages. To start off with, in the public library, we're going to go to the database center, which is under learning and research. From here, it just gives you an overview of all the types of databases and resources and electronic resources we have, A to Z master guide, or going down by subject. Since we're in world history class, we're going to go hit history. And depending on how many databases we have, you either narrow it down or go to a bit more world history or world geographic. But since in Vietnam, we were looking also in the context of American history in this class, let's just try first going to American history info base. You're going to hit access American history. And so I'm going to type in the search bar our subject, Vietnam War, and as you can see, it also pops up different types of subjects like Vietnam War movement, battles, Vietnam War, but since we're gathering information, we're going to hit Vietnam War. And it's also, this database has done a nice job of dividing up the different types of resources we have for you. Articles are, like we said, which can also be peer-reviewed and set by date. I will show you that later. Primary source documents as references from that time period without historians or journalists looking over or peer reviewing it together and writing a document about it. This would just be the main source. And you might need to supplement it to decipher what it means in the history, the context, and other sources. You can also use images to help you with your projects to use, videos during that time, and just a good timeline overview for projects. But we're going to go look at articles first. So for articles, let's just hit the search one and see what we get. Nixon and the Vietnam War. On the side here, you're going to see where it's from, the series, and publication date. This is a good thing to look at if it's recent or last edited. As you can see here, it's last edited in 2018. So while it's a bit older, this is still better than 2011 to use for your projects. You also see highlights of when we searched in a search bar and a table of contents, depending on what you need. Another good feature about this is that you could export and use for citations. These citations are great to use as you don't have to handwrite it. And you can do different types depending on what your teacher specified. Going back to primary sources, this is different again from articles. They're not edited and they will try to save directly from historian collections or resources. So for example, we're just going to hit news conference on the Vietnam War. As you can see by the title, it's probably just a news conference, so the record type will be announcement, statement, or petition. Down on top is be an abstract about what the article or conference is about, and then below is a transcript. So what the difference between the two, again, is primary source is straight from that moment in time in history. And you can see here, it's from 1967. Articles or peer reviews are things that you could look back on and synthesize with your current projects. So these are great examples to use for your class when you want to compare and contrast the different types. As you can see, when you do citations, it's going to be straight from the source, Lyndon Johnson. While the other one could be about from the conference, multiple writers, etc. You could also, again, export and save the references to your documents. I hope this helps, and are you able to find the references and sources you need and decipher between the two. Thank you. Have a good day.